No spoilers here. What's going on, guys? It's Kyle here, and welcome to my spoiler-free review of Avengers Endgame, the culmination of the entire MCU. That's right, guys, I'll be doing a review of Avengers Endgame right now. So we're going to start off with the things I liked. By the way, no spoilers, I promise. Zero spoilers. So the first thing I liked about it was the characters. There is not a, well, I won't say a single, but there is not a, pretty much every single character in this movie is solid. They all have something to do. They're all noteworthy. They all have their great moments. There's only one character in here that I think they wasted a little bit. And then there's also a character which I don't like at all, but I won't say who. But just remember that pretty much every character in this movie has something to do. Nobody's really potentially like wasted. There's like a character in here that does get not as much screen time as I would like, but it's whatever. I mean, it's still, they're really still great characters. The second thing I liked about it was just the overall tone of it. I liked how this one went for more of a comedic vibe. There's a lot more comedy in this one. You know how Infinity War was all dark and brooding, and it was always like, we gotta get Thanos. It's gonna be an all-out battle. This one was a lot less serious and a little more comedic, especially in the second part of it. There's like it's like 3 different movies in one. I mean, there's like a, well, I don't want to get into detail because the story or the plot of it will give away a lot of good stuff of it. I want you guys to go in going blind, like knowing nothing. But I think by now people have seen it. I mean, it's been out for over a weekend now. It's already grossed over $1 billion. That's insane. But I'm not gonna really give too much in the plot because I don't want you guys to go in there and be like, oh, I know everything now. The plot really does give away a lot, so I'm just gonna say this. It is a lot more funny than Infinity War. The third thing I liked about it was the camera work. Once again, just like in Infinity War, this Endgame has a lot of great camera work, and I'm so surprised because the MCU is not, known for their cinematography and all the things that they can do with their camera, but this one had a couple cool moments. Just like Infinity War had that awesome shot when Tony's walking out into the battle, into like New York and everything. It's like everything's going insane, and it's all handheld. And it follows like the whole. It's like all in one shot, and it follows Tony out into the world, and it's all in one shot. And then it starts shaking it. And you can see just how enormous this thing in the sky is, and then we get a nice aerial view. I love that shot in that movie. There's also there's like scenes like that in this movie that like reminded me of how good the cinematography these past 2 movies have been in the MCU. So that is another pro, is its cinematography. The fourth thing I liked about it was the music by Alan Silvestri. One of the goats in creating awesome movie scores. He's done the first Avengers, the second Avenger, I think. He did Infinity War, and now he's done Endgame. They're all fantastic scores. I think I like Infinity Wars a little better, but honestly, there's still a lot of great music moments, especially during a scene which I cannot talk about, but I will be talking about that in a spoiler review coming soon. But my god, oh, that scene is so good. But like the music in that scene is super good. The fifth thing I liked about it was, I know I'm gonna be pretty biased here, was the fan service. There's a lot of fan service in this movie. Some stuff from the comics comes into play. Some stuff, I think there's like a reference to like the TV show in here. I think one of the Marvel TV shows. They fit so much stuff in one movie. It's kind of insane how it doesn't actually feel entirely bloated. Everything goes at a great pace. I mean, well, not entirely, that goes in my cons, but everything usually goes in a pretty okay speed. It's pretty nice. Alright, so I can't really talk about too much because spoiler talk, but that's not until the next video. I'm gonna go into my cons right now, and unfortunately there is a little bit more cons in this one there was for Infinity War, which I'm gonna say right now, I personally liked Infinity War a little better than Endgame. Don't kill me, it's just my personal opinion. And we'll go into the first con right now. So the first con is the pacing. I thought Infinity War was paced perfectly. There's always action going on. There's short spurts of dialogue-driven moments. Then there's some great emotional moments. It was all around, just kept on going. There was never a breaking point. There's a lot of bad pacing issues with Endgame. This movie is 3 hours long, and honestly, it's only good for the first hour, or for the last hour. And I hate to say it, but yeah, I really enjoyed the last hour a lot more than the first 2 hours. I'll go with this. The first hour feels like a sad, depressing movie. Second half is like a fun little comedy, and then the third hour is just epicness. I can't even tell you. I'll get more of that into the spoiler review, but my God, that last hour, I'm gonna say it right now, is the best of the MCU ever, in my opinion, of course. But just the pacing is really off. If you're going to see the movie, just know before you go in that there's a lot of breaking points, there's a lot of dragged on scenes. This movie, before I even continue, did not need to be 3 hours long. There's a lot of stuff that they left on the cutting room floor that they could have easily gotten rid of, but they kept it in there to pad out the runtime because it's going to be epic. It's 3 hours, you know, it's epic. The only reason why it's 3 hours is because there's 12 minutes of credits, and by the way, there's no post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene, so you don't have to stay for all the credits. But I would say you should stay for the first credits, the first part of the credits, because it's really cool. But don't stay for the rest of the credits. There's nothing else at the end. And there is something. If you're a die-hard Marvel fan, you can stay. But if you're just like the one that likes a lot to watch the stuff at the end, they don't really care about anything else, then don't stay, because there's nothing there. There's only like a sound clip. I won't tell you the sound clip, but there's a sound clip in there. If you want to stay all the way to the end and know what it is, go ahead. Or if you want to look it up and before you even go in on the internet, do that too. A second con with this movie is that there really wasn't much action in it, as much as there's a lot more action in Infinity War than there was in this one. And I know people are going to say like, oh, it's not all about action, it's about the emotional, dramatic, and character-driven moments. Yeah, you're right. But I like to watch Marvel movies for the action. That's why I did not like Black Panther at all, really, because there's hardly any action in the movie. And when there is action, it's done terribly. But when there's action in Endgame, it's done amazingly. I think there'd be one more con, and that would be probably there's a lot of plot holes, which I can't get into because, spoilers, but there's a lot of plot holes in, like, certain elements of the film, and when you really break it down, you see how more and more there is of plot holes. Lots of things don't make sense. Something to just kind of brush off and don't ever cover again. It's a little, when you look at it, it does kind of come off as messy and rushed, but that's just me, maybe. But conclusion, I would give this movie a solid 8 or 7 out of 10. I can't really figure out a number. I'm gonna say 8, an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. A really great, solid conclusion to the Infinity Saga, or if you want to call it the end of the Avengers, if you want to say it. It's really good, it's satisfying, it's a really, really strong ending. Like I said, the last hour of this movie is pure cinematic bliss. If you're gonna see the movie, I just stayed all the way through just so you can see the last hour, because you'll thank me later. But that is it for the spoiler-free review of Avengers Endgame. I know there really wasn't much I could get into because of the spoilers and everything, but I will get into more spoilers coming soon. I'll be making a spoiler review coming in the next few days. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like and subscribe to see similar content like this. Also, if you saw Endgame and you want to let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, do that below. Don't leave any spoilers though, because this is a spoiler-free review. In the spoiler review, go ahead and go to all your spoilers if you want. But oh, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Stardust. The links will be down below in the description box. Check me out there. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and peace out. Bye, guys.